Do you see now my
Yeah,
screen?
yes, madam. Yes,
I have drawn two dots
two.
on it. I have
Yes,
not
yes.
written anything yet.
Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Yes.
yes, madam.
Is it all right? You
Yes,
can see my two dice?
yes, madam.
Okay, good. If you don't
Yes,
understand,
madam.
you
Yes.
need to ask if you don't understand. And now, what
Yes,
do
ma'am.
these?
Okay.
I'm so sorry. These dice will have numbers. You know what numbers are there? And hey, what happened? Why don't you write? Yes. And then I'm just showing to the different numbers so that all the numbers from 1 to 6. On each die, the same numbers are drawn. Right? Now, what is the game? When we throw two dice at once, see the numbers which are facing up. Here it is 4, here it is 1, and the sum is 5. You are all aware that when you throw two dice and when you are considering the sum of the integers, each die has got positive integers on each face, 6 faces, and the integers are from 1 to 6. Each die is like that. This is how they are made. And then you also know that when you sum up the two numbers given by the two dice, you know that 7 appears most often. You know that. You have done enough experiments and you also have learned a little bit of probability and this statistics to know that when you throw two dice, 7 is the most likely number that comes up. Why? Because there are altogether 36 different sums or 36 different throws, and the sum can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, and 12. Okay, I'm sorry the distance is not the same, but doesn't matter. This is the sum. And how many times does each sum appear in those total number of 36 cases? Now, where is my pen? Where is my pen? Yeah, here is my pen. There are altogether 36 different throws, and the sum can be 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Now, 2 appears only once. Why? Because you get the sum 2 only when each die gives you 1. 3 appears twice because it can be either 1 plus 2 or 2 plus 1. You all know that. 4 appears 3 times. 1 plus 3, 2 plus 2, and 3 plus 2. 5 appears 4 times. Why? 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, then 3 plus 2, and 4 plus 1. 6 appears 5 times, and 7 appears 6 times. That is the maximum. Again, it goes on reducing. 8 appears 5 times. Why? Because for 8, no die can give you 1. But 2 is possible. So, start the sum at 2 plus 6, 3 plus 5, 4 plus 4, 5 plus 3, and 6 plus 2. Altogether, 5 possibilities. For the sum 9, the possibilities are 4. For sum 10, 3, 11 comes only twice, 5 plus 6, and 6 plus 5, and 12 comes only once. 6. We all know this. So what do we do now? What is the game? Now, this is one of the principles in mathematics. You can create an equivalent problem, and that may be easier to solve. But what is the problem in the first place? What is the problem? There is a person called Zischerman who placed the problem, and the problem is if two dice have numbers 1 to 6 on each of them has got numbers 1 to 6 on 6 different faces, then these are the different sums you get. And what is nice is that each die has got numbers 1 to 6. So we can actually now form our polynomials, and then I will state the problem. because then you can relate it with the polynomials. Now consider these polynomials. X square plus x cube plus x raised to 4 plus x raised to 5 plus x raised to 6. And then another polynomial that is still the same. I am not going to write a different polynomial, but later on we will write it. So Px gives me the numbers on the first dice. Qx gives me the numbers on the second dice. And what are the numbers? The numbers are the indices of our monomials. Our monomials are x, x square, x cube. And these are the numbers, the indices 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And see how these numbers have obtained. These number of times 5 comes, or the probability that 5 comes is 4 upon 36. Probability that 6 sum comes is 5 upon 36, because the total number is 36, and this is the probability. So you learned to calculate these sums for statistics class. Now, the fun is that when you take the product, now where is my pen? Yeah, this is my pen. Do excuse me if I do not write fast, because I am writing on a small pad and the letters are appearing ahead. So I don't have a lot of control, unfortunately. So the product, when I write the product, I'm not going to write the product. I'm going to write the product in 2 ways. This is going to this. Now I'm not thinking. I'm just writing my coefficients up there and writing the polynomial below. Plus 4 times x raised to 5 plus 5 times x raised to 6 plus 6 times x raised to 7. I need to go ahead. Yes. Now where is my pen? When I do this, I usually lose my pen. Okay, come on. My pen should be here. Did I get my pen? Yes, I got my pen. Then this is plus 5x raised to 8 plus 4x raised to 9 plus 3x raised to 10 and plus 2x raised to 11 and x raised to 2. Now do you see the fun? Or do you notice? So all these coefficients are precisely the number of ways of getting that sum. 6 is the number of ways you get the sum as 7. 5 is the number of ways getting the sum as 6. Now this is precisely the product of Px into Qx. Because when you have the product Px into Qx, you are multiplying x by x square, x by x cube, x by x4, and the indices are getting summed up. So how many times does x raised to 5 appear? X into x raised to 4, x square into x raised to 3, x raised to 3 into x square, and x raised to 4 into x. So this is how you get the sum 1 plus 4, 2 plus 3, 3 plus 2, and 4 plus 1. So do you see now the equivalence that I am talking of? The equivalence of the 2 dice being thrown and adding up the numbers is the same thing as you multiply these 2 polynomials Px into Qx and you write their product. And that product gives you exactly the number of ways that the sum 3 comes, 3 is the number of ways in the sum 4 comes, and so on. Just very, very simple matter. Just the product of 2 polynomials. Now, what is the question? I still have not stated the question. Now, the question is, this is one pair of dice, normal dice, which gives me this product and which tells me that 3 appears, the sum 3 appears twice, 5 appears 4 times, 7 appears 6 times, and so on. Question is there any other way of writing positive integers on the faces of the dice which will still give me the same product? Please see again. What will that mean? That means if those 2 new dice, the pair of dice, if I throw, I will still get 4 3 times, I will still get 5 4 times, 7 6 times, 8 5 times, and so on. You see the point? The numbers in the dice will be different. Not 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, but different. Now, the question is, can we have such a labeling of numbers, such a writing of numbers on the faces of the die, so that when two dice are thrown, the product is still the same. Why? Because the product is precisely that which tells me how many times each sum appears. Also, the sum should be the same. 2, 3, 4 up to 12. Not less, not more. The sum has to be between 2 and 12, and each sum has to appear exactly in the same number of ways as it does here. Now do you see slowly the advantage of equivalent problem? Now to guess that, what we do is, we know the product now of Px and Qx. So what do we want to find? We have to find, the problem is this. To find P1x and Q1x, they will tell me which numbers come on the faces of those two dice, such that P1 into Q1x is the same, and oh, this is multiplied, I'm sorry, why did I say right? Is equal to Px into Qx. Do pardon my horrible handwriting, but this is P1x into Q1x, and this is equal to Px into Qx. So, is there a possibility of getting to other polynomials with integer indices? Because those indices are giving me the numbers on the faces, such that their product is precisely this. So the easiest way to do this is, of course, to factorize Px and Qx into irreducible factors. Anybody can do it. I think the school children can do this. We have taught this to 8th and 9th standard students. I can take x out, and what remains is, and each one is the same, Px and Qx are same here, x cube plus x4 plus x fifth. 6 term. Now, the same product in irreducible terms we have to write, because we know how. Now 1 plus x square is common, and into 1 plus x cube, right? Now this is same thing as x into 1 plus x square, then 1 plus x, and 1 minus x square plus x cube. Am I right? Huh? Isn't this your formula in school? Pen should be here. Yes, I got my pen. And this is also Qx. I'll write without factorizing now Qx, because it is the same. I can write the same factors. And it is not difficult to check that all these factors are irreducible. Irreducible over z. See, that is the mistake I made and nobody pointed out. Come on, you are not watching. You are not watching. Where is my rubber? Where is my eraser? Yes, I will get my eraser. Size A, not insert. I'm sorry. I want eraser. This is the one. Eraser. Yes, medium eraser, medium eraser. Yes, I'm sorry. I'm going to now use the eraser and correct myself. This is where I want to correct. My pen, yes, I Got it? See, I'm learning these things. Nice, isn't it? Okay. And this also. This is not x square. It is x. I'm sorry. Let me go back and get my pen again, because the same pen does the same trick of writing and erasing. Draw again with black. Yes. I'm sorry for this waste of time, but that gives you a little time to think, huh? This is where my pen should be. Is my pen there? Yes. See, the difference is now this is going to be 1 plus x cube. I am factoring, and this is, I am saying that school children know this, and when I am writing this, I am making a mistake, and also many more than 100 people of you don't even tell me that I have made a mistake. Yeah, this is the factor. And now you know that these are irreducible factors, because either degree is 1 or even if the degree is 2, you know enough to know that these are irreducible over z, that they do not have roots in z or even q in q. So px and qx both are factored into irreducible factors, and since their product has to be the same, what do we have? Px into qx is x square. Then let me collect all the linear factors together and the quadratics next. So now our problem is posed again. How is it posed? That we need to find two polynomials p1x and q1x such that their product is same as px into qx, with a little more extra conditions. See, again I wrote x square there. It shouldn't be x square there. Oh yes, this is a product. Yes, it's a product. So each one coming. That's correct. Yes. Px into qx is x twice, 1 plus x twice, and then 1 plus x square and 1 minus x plus x. It is all correct. So what do we now? How do we decide on p1x and q1x? See, one fact is clear, that there should be 6 monomials in each polynomial. We require all numbers to be integer. All numbers on dice are positive integers. This is what we require first. All numbers on the dice are positive integers.
Madam?
So we need, yes.
In the product p of x and q of x, there is last two types square missing.
What is
in product of p of x and q?
Yes. Yeah, you are right. I am very happy that you noticed. Each factor comes twice, isn't it? Each factor is coming twice. So this is also squared and this is also squared. Thank you.
Welcome, madam.
The quadratic is also squared. Yes, that is right. I would have been in trouble later on, because I want to divide all these factors into p1x and q1x. Thank you. So all numbers on the dice are positive integers. What does that mean? That the index should be 1 or more. The index should be 1 or more. So each monomial you should be something like x raised to something, x raised to r, x raised to s, or something like that. So consider the first factor x square. So if I omit the factor x, either from p1 or q1, then I will get 1 as a monomial. And 1 is x raised to 0. But the first condition that we have right now is that all numbers on the dice are positive integers, which means our x must be there in each. P1x also has the x as a factor and q1x also. Because if x factor is not there, the remaining factors will give 1 as the coefficient of smallest index. Do you see that? Okay, one more thing. There should be 6 monomials in each polynomial. Why? Because there are 6 faces. Each die has 6 faces. So each monomial gives me a number on each face. So since there are 6 monomials, another condition is that P11 is equal to Q11 is equal to 6. 6 monomials, each of the type x raised to r, which means P11 is equal to 6. Now substitute 1. When you substitute 1, you see all the factors. Huh? X is 1, it doesn't contribute anything. 1 plus x is 2. 1 plus x square is 3. And 1 minus x plus x square is again 1. So, to get P1x and Q1x, to each one to have 6 monomials and to have P1 1 and Q2 1 divisible by 6, it should be divisible by 2 also and 3 also. You know this much of basic number theory. 6 is a factor, means 2 and 3 are factors, means 1 plus x is there. Now where is my pen? Here is my pen. So, just as x is a factor in each polynomial, 1 plus x and 1 plus x square is also a factor on in each polynomial. I have no choice. Do you agree with this? Because each polynomial has 6 monomials. That means P1 1 equal to Q1 1 is equal to 6. So when you substitute x equal to 1, the value should be 6 divided by 2 as well as 3. So both these factors should be there in both the. And the polynomials are only these many. We don't have any other polynomials because the product is determined. Since the product is determined, the total number of polynomials is determined. Now what is the choice? The choice is only this factor. 1 minus x plus x square. In our px and qx, each one appears only once. See, we have already factorized there. There we have factorized. Each factor comes exactly once. So if we put these two factors in P1 and Q1, we get P and Q only. We get the same polynomials as original. So to have a different pair of polynomials, what do? We put both the factors only in one. And we try to have P1x and Q1x like this. Let us do what happens. Let us see what happens. Okay, go. Okay. Right. Let me write. Where is my pen again? This is where my pen should be. Is it there? Have I got it? Hey, have I got my pen? Come on. It is here. Here the pen should be. Ah. Oh, where is my pen? Why isn't it behaving properly? Oh, come on. I'm sorry. I'll just go back. Don't worry. I'll get my OneNote and I will join on my. Yeah, I think now I got it. Still haven't got my pen. Just let me check my one note. Yeah, I got my pen, I think. Yes. So what do I have? Just write down what the solution is. P1, yeah, I got my pen. Good, good, good. P1x is equal to, write the solution. X into 1 plus x into 1 plus x square into 1 minus x plus x square into 1 minus x plus x square again. All we have to do is write down the product. So this is, oh, in one place it is, yeah. So this is x into x square. I'll combine these two. They are 1 plus x square minus x square. So this happens to be 1 plus x square plus x fourth. And then again 1 minus x plus x square. Write this. So this is x into, I'll join these 1 plus x into 1 minus x. So this is 1 minus x plus x square plus x minus x square plus x cube, right? This first and the third one, and this I'll keep as it is. Again, and so there is cancellation. X and x cancel, x square and x square cancel. Oh yes, but of course I know this. This is x. Of course I knew. I'm just coming back to 1 plus x cube. Come on, silly me. I didn't remember that these two factors multiply into 1 plus x cube. Okay, it doesn't matter. Just one more minute is wasted. Now, so this is equal to, I'll keep x out and I'll just add it later. No harm. So this is 1 plus x raised to 4 plus x raised to 2 plus x raised to 3 plus x raised to 5 plus x raised to 8. Don't be scared, because now we are going to get bigger integers. No harm. So what is the final form? The final form is plus, next lowest is x cube. Next is x raised to 4. Then x raised to 5. Then x raised to 6. And no x raised to 7, but x raised to 9. 6 monomials. Yes, we got it. 6 monomials is right. And I hope I don't lose my pen again. Yes, I got my pen. So, what are the faces on the die? The faces on the first die are 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 9. And what are the faces on the other die? We have removed one factor. Do remind me if I'm making a mistake. It is 1 plus this into 1 plus x cube, and x square. That 1 minus x factor has disappeared. So let us write again. 1 plus x cube plus, no, x square. Why do I make such silly mistakes? Plus x square plus x cube. So what is this? This is x into 1 plus 2x cube plus x square plus x cube. I hope you don't mind my making little mistakes. So what is the polynomial? X plus 2x square plus 2x cube plus x raised to 4. So what are of the die? 1, 2, 2. This monomial comes twice. Then 3 also comes twice. And 4 comes once. Voila. we have got the first square bracket gives me the faces of die number 1, and the second square bracket gives me the faces of die number 2. This is an exercise for you. You check that if you have two dice with such faces, then the sum of two faces gives you exactly the same polynomial as we had discovered at the beginning. Let us go back. Let us go back to it and see. Hey, come on, roll back. Yes. Is this polynomial? Px into qx will be this. And you can notice that p1x into q1x gives you exactly the same polynomial. But if you are a mathematician, you don't really have to check. I would suggest that you check it once, verify it. आपण मराठीत पडताळून पाहतो म्हणतो तसं करा, एकदा चेक करा. पण if you have learned your polynomials and the irreducible factors, you have already realized that px into qx is equal to p1x into q1x. So that product has to be the same. And we have already achieved that px into qx is equal to p1x into q1x. So both pairs of dice give the probability of any sum. Give the probability किधर गया? I wanted to insert. Yeah, I can insert. Right. Both pairs of dice give the same probability of any sum. The same sums will appear from 2 to 12, number 1, and they will be the same coefficients there. Both pairs of dice give the same probability of any sum. Do you see why? So you can create another pair of dice with these integers on there. The first one is 1, 3, 4, 5, 6, 9, and the other pair, the die has 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, 4, and they will give the same sums with the same probability. Now, this was a problem given in Gadian's book in algebra. I liked it. Now, let us have a variation. What is the variation I am suggesting? I suggest a variation is that each die, we allowed only positive integer, right? Now, have a little more variation. Each die has non-negative integers on their faces. So what difference does it make? We had already factorized our px and qx. What were they? 1 plus x, then 1 plus x square, and 1 minus x plus x square. Each one, px and qx both. Okay. Now, we made the condition that each face has got a positive integer as an integer on its face. But if you also allow 0, non-negative means 0 is also included. So what happens is x has a choice. So you can have polynomial without, so x raised to 0 can be a monomial. Then 0 can appear on a face, one can also be allowed as a monomial. So that gives you two more possibilities. So this is an extension of the problem. So there exist some pairs P2x, Q2x, and also P3x, Q3x. This is an exercise for you now. You should be able to do that. You can find two more pairs of polynomials which give you two more pairs which give the same product, and therefore the same integers as sums with same frequency. Okay, I hope you will try this. It's not difficult. What I think is a 12th standard student should be able to attain this. I just keep losing my pen. I got it. Here is it? It is here. Now, do you want to ask any questions? This just tells you the power of mathematics. First of all, you have equivalence of problems. How many times, if you pose the problem equivalently in different language, that language may be easier to work with and to get the solution. But the equivalence of the problems tells you that you can immediately solve the original problem with it. Another thing is, it is the universal truths of our theorems, like the irreducible polynomials. There is a unique product of irreducible polynomials for each polynomial. You don't have any two different products as irreducible. Just like integers. Just Euclid's theorem that every positive integer has got a unique factorization into primes. Every polynomial in Qx and Zx has a unique factorization into primes. Another thing we have used here is just a very simple law in statistics. You calculate the total number of cases possible and then you collect the event cases which you are examining, and to get the probability you make a division of your cases of your wanted event divided by the total number of the, what do you call that number? I forget now. Sample, total sample number. So all these things, they come to help you when you are solving this problem. Do you want to ask any questions?
No, ma'am.
No, madam.
Yes.
Madam, when we have calculated Px, can you move backward, please?
Sorry.
Madam,
you want to go? Okay. We will go back in the lecture. This is the advantage. I am learning this advantage of this new gadget. Previously, I had to write.
Yes. Madam, yes, please, madam. Madam, I think that maximum power of P1x would be 8, because if it is 9, then we will get x raised to 13 in the product.
Yes. I might have made a mistake there. Let me check. Then in my product, I must have made a mistake. See.
No, it is okay, but I just confirm from my end because.
No. You are right. It is 7, nah. See, I'll have to get my eraser again. See, that 8 has changed into 7. X raised to 3 into x raised to 4 is x raised to 7. That was another silly mistake.
Okay. I will correct from my end.
Thank you for telling me, because that was a really silly mistake.
Madam, I was confusing.
I'm happy that you are noticing. I'm really happy about that. Now, where is my product? It is here, no? It is further. Is it up slightly earlier? Yeah, here, here. I think I still have got my eraser in my hand, I hope. So, yeah, the last but one equation is wrong. Now, here, I want to put my eraser here. Eraser, come on. Isn't my eraser helping me? Oh, sorry. Yes. And then this, and then let me go back. That table doesn't allow me to. Oh, yeah. I still have my eraser and this. That should be it. Wherever I wrote 9, it should be 8. And here, let me get my pencil again. That is one problem. I have to get my eraser or pencil only one at a time. There is a way of using the eraser by the same pen, but I have not mastered it. I want my pen. Where I put pen. Now I lost my cursor. I hope I get my pen. Yeah, I got my pen. That is what I wanted anyway. So this is x raised to 7. What happened? This is x raised to 7 and this is the square bracket and this is x raised to 8. That was one silly mistake. And then this will be 8. You are quite right. Numbers are 2 and 7 are omitted and instead you go up to 8. 1, 3, 4. Omit 2 and go up to 8, but 7 is also not taken. And here 2 and 3 are doubled in the second die. Yeah, thanks for checking this.
Thank you.
So, if you don't have any questions, do you want to close or do you want me to tell you a small story?
Yeah.
No, what I wanted to say is, many times you learn good mathematics in school if you are careful. And you may forget school mathematics and later on it makes matters very difficult for you. Once a student who was working for BCom class came to ask me how to solve a question. She said it is mathematics. I told her, don't ask me anything about accountancy. I don't know. She said, no, this is mathematics. So the question she asked me about mathematics was calculating simple interest. I told her this is the problem we give in the 7th and 8th standard. Have you forgotten your maths from school? Please don't forget your maths from school, which is very, very basic and which is very important. Just like in MSc class, when I talk of quadratics, I have to remind the students about how to find the roots of a quadratic and what it means to have different types of roots. All such things are necessary later on, either for postgraduate studies or even for graduate studies or later on anywhere. So please do not forget your basics and simple mathematics.